Hey, I'm Cordelia Kate, and today I'm going to help you create a simple PDF lead magnet in under 10 minutes using Canva and Claude AI. You're going to walk away with a repeatable process that you can use over and over again so that you'll hopefully stop overthinking what your lead magnet should be and actually get something live that you can offer straight off the bat. And to do this, we're going to repurpose something that you've already got. You're not going to have to custom create anything new. In fact, what we're going to use to create this lead magnet is a transcript of some kind. And so the first thing you need to get is a transcript. And that transcript can be a recording of you delivering a training, a recording of you doing a talk, a recording of you having a coaching session with one of your clients where you did a lot of teaching and a lot of supporting them with something specific. It could be a meeting note recording from a team meeting where you went through something with your team. It could be a number of things. It doesn't have to be a transcript of a training. It could be a transcript of many, many different things. So have a think about what recordings have I got of videos, whether that be videos that I've publicly published or videos that are a bit behind the scenes that are preserved for the team or my one-to-one calls with clients. And we're going to get that transcript and we are going to turn it into a lead magnet today. Now, a couple of ways to get transcripts. The way that I do it, the easiest way possible, is to either upload your video into YouTube or Vimeo, and then once it's published, you'll be able to download the captions from there. The other way is I use Descript. And if you use that video editing tool, then you can just upload it into Descript. Descript will transcribe everything and you can grab it from there. And there are, of course, other transcription services available. That's just how I do it, just to quickly get a transcript available. And you want to be saving these transcripts. Let's say you've got a regular live, like this show here. I have an Airtable full of the transcripts from every episode so that I can use them in various different ways. And so for today's example, we're going to be using a transcript from one of these episodes. And it's long and it's waffly, and it doesn't matter because AI is smart and it's going to take that transcript and turn it into something fantastic. So we're going to come into Claude. Now, I prefer Claude for writing copy over ChatGPT these days. Claude is producing a much higher quality output and a much more consistent output as well. It just seems to professionally take on the job a lot better. So we're going to use Claude today because I absolutely love how it produces a workbook and how it produces a lead magnet as well. And that's what we're going to create today. We're going to use a transcript to essentially create a PDF downloadable that you are going to be able to use as a lead magnet in the form of like a guide or a handbook or a workbook kind of thing. And so we're going to use Claude for that. So if you don't have Claude, you could use ChatGPT. You don't have to use Claude, okay? This is not Claude or nothing. You can use ChatGPT. You can use Gemini. It's just that I'm going to use Claude for the purpose of this demonstration because it is currently my favorite and I'm producing some really awesome things with Claude. I'm slowly migrating everything over to Claude. Even in my back-end automations with Make and Airtable, I am slowly switching everything over to Claude because I'm finding the output to be so much better. So if you want a little tutorial on Claude today, there's not going to be that much to learn if you're used to ChatGPT. It's basically the same thing, apart from the output's better. But I mean, in terms of using it, it's basically the same thing. And the other thing that we're going to need is Canva. We're going to use Canva to create the workbook. Specifically, we're going to use Canva Docs. And we're going to do that because Canva Docs are awesome. They just look gorgeous in terms of how they look, how easy it is to format them and how well formatted they look. So this is for those of you that have basically not been producing enough lead magnets. You've got an idea for lead magnets and maybe it's just never getting to the top of the to-do list because maybe you're like me and you're a bit of a perfectionist with how things look and you want to create this beautiful lead magnet and you just don't have time. Or maybe like me, you're someone who knows that PDF lead magnets are a little bit difficult in terms of getting lots of sign-ups off of them. Well, why create them then? That's a good question, I hear you ask. And the answer is that it's another way in which we can repurpose the content we already have. And it's a really good opportunity for you to turn your content into something that you can hand out that gives someone a file that just sits on their computer. Even if they never open it, it's sat there. We sign up for stuff, we download it, and then we never actually read it. It's all gone in the keep folder. which means that those people that created those PDFs, Stu McLaren, Amy Porterfield, I think it's another one by Ash Ambage, they've all popped into my head this morning as I have filed them. And so it's nice to have a file that sits on someone's computer that's got your name on it, right? But also it's a great way for you to just consistently produce new pieces of content that you can share with your audience in a way that's super easy. After today, you're going to be able to do this so simply. And top tip, if you want people to sign up for it quickly, bake in a bit of urgency. Tell them this is only available for a few days and put a bit of a countdown on it so that you can go to social media and say, I've got this PDF lead magnet that I'm going to share with you guys for free. You can download it. It's only available for the next few days. Go grab it now. And then closer to the time, you can tell them, I'm about to take this down, last chance to get it. It doesn't have to be sat there on social media being offered to be downloaded forever. In fact, if you leave your PDF lead magnets there, sitting there for people to grab forever, expect that you'll probably hardly ever get anyone downloading them, because PDF lead magnets, honestly, get downloaded at the pace of snails. They really do. So you want to bake in a bit of urgency. And that is so much easier when we can create more and more and more and more of these, because what I'm going to show you today is going to enable you to create PDF lead magnets like wildfire. It is going to be so easy for you to do this, and you are going to love how great they look. And it didn't take up half your day. It took you about 15 minutes, and it's great quality because it's come from a transcript. Let me make this clear. I do not like AI slop. I love AI. I use it all day long. AI slop? Crap. How do we create AI slop? We ask AI to produce something with AI, and we don't give it a high quality human input anywhere. Even if the prompt is really high quality, if it doesn't have your input in there, your opinion, your take on something, your stance, your 5 cents, 2 cents, being generous there, then you can't really expect it to produce anything other than AI slop, generic AI stuff that anybody else can produce. And that's why I love to use a transcript to create this lead magnet, because the transcript is full of human nuance. It's full of opinion. It's full of points of view. It's full of my take on something. The transcript I'm going to use is from an hour-long call. And what that does is it puts in a high-quality human input. And high quality in the sense that it's very human, not high quality in the sense that I performed amazingly in this live call. The transcript is rambly as hell. It's got lots of grammatical errors in it. You know, it's not as though it's an hour delivered by someone who is extremely polished and perfect, like Tony Robbins. It's just me talking like I'm doing now for an hour. So high quality in the sense that it's very human, but not in the sense that it's perfect. Does that make sense? If you start making sure that you have that high quality human input going in, then you're going to get a much better output. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to use this as a repurposing tool rather than getting it to create stuff from scratch. Because if we create stuff from scratch, we're just going to create AI slop, which will just get added into the bowl of AI soup that is the internet. All right. So first, what we're going to do then is we're going to jump into Claude. So let's open Claude. And here we go. This is Claude. This is what Claude looks like. Very similar to any other language model, really, in terms of looks. What we're going to do with it is very basic and very simple. Of course, Claude can be used to create an entire piece of software. We're not going to be doing that today. We're just creating a PDF. So it should be nice and simple. I'm going to use Opus 4.6, which is the current most advanced one. Why? Because it is writing the best copy out of all of the models at the moment and should hopefully leave out those pesky M dashes. You know, these long M dashes, these ones? This is dead giveaway that you wrote your copy with AI. As soon as we see one of those, we kind of get turned off. We look away. We start reading something else instead. It's still normal to use them, but very sparingly. We don't normally use them a lot. They're called M dashes, and you want to ask your AI model to not use M dashes, use normal punctuation instead. That's going to be included in today's prompt, but Opus 4.6 will hopefully leave those out. But if we write in Sonnet 4.5, it won't leave those out because it's not advanced enough for some reason. You would think that wasn't a difficult request. Turns out, extremely difficult. So I'm going to come over to my note here where I've got my prompts that I have created So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this transcript. So I've got a huge transcript here. As I said, this is from an hour. It's very long. So I'm going to copy that and I'm just going to paste that in here. Now, what Claude does is when you paste long piece, it pastes it as a kind of attachment. So that is now pasted there as an attachment. Kind of annoying because you can't edit it very easily, but there we go. That's just how it works. And then we're going to create the prompts in 2 sections. The first section is going to be an outline writer. And then the second section is going to be the full copywriter. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because when you just get it to create everything all in one go with one prompt, it doesn't do it very well. Top tip number 1, start breaking your prompts down into 2 sections. First, get it to create the structure of something. Then get it to populate that structure with the copy. Even if you're creating images, you can get it to come up with an image kind of idea and then get it to populate that image, create that image from the idea, rather than trying to get it to do absolutely everything in one go. So I'm going to paste this prompt here, and you can see actually this prompt says transcript, paste transcript here. I'm going to get rid of that and I'm going to say attached because it's attached above. Now, this prompt is going to create the outline. Convert the following transcript into a structured lead magnet outline that captures the speaker's voice, expertise, and core insights. The next thing that we need to do is essentially, these are a couple of inputs. What we're creating with this lead magnet is it's going to take the insights from the transcript and then it's going to do a few things. So number 1, it's going to come up with a title for the lead magnet and a subtitle for that lead magnet. And then it's going to come up with an image idea for the front page, which we can ignore if we're not going to use, but it's just nice to have. An introduction that outlines who this is for, what problem it solves, and what the reader is going to get out of it. And then the core content structure is going to be 3 to 7 main sections from the transcript's key insights. And then we're going to end with a conclusion, which is a recap from the transformation on those key insights, and get it to bridge naturally from content to next step. And that next step is going to be your call to action. Okay, so the call to action we're going to put in here. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. The other thing to note is the tone directive. It's going to match the tone of voice that was used in the transcript, which is genius, right? Because what that means is this is going to sound like you. This is going to sound like you because it's got a nice chunky bit of you speaking, and then it's going to sound like it's you because it's using that as its tone and voice guidelines. So you don't even need to put an appended kind of note here to tell it how to speak because it should just do that. We now need to add the call to action details. So the call to action details then are going to be what it is that you want to give at the end of this lead magnet. So what we're going to use here as an example is a one-to-one call. So I'm going to share what my booking link is for the one-to-one call that I'm going to promote inside the lead magnet, so that at the end of the lead magnet, there is a nice promotion and reason for people to come and book on to my calendar with me to have a sales conversation, essentially a discovery call of some kind. So booking link, let's just type calendarlink.com, but that's where you would paste your booking link, and then call name and description. So this transcript, I've just selected one. I can't even remember what episode this is about, but just to sort of throw a bit of a wild card, let's see how good this prompt is. I'm going to give it a prompt to a cool name for a one-to-one live show planning session. And I'm going to tell it what this is about so that it can promote it, because otherwise it might just make something up and be vague. Cool. So that's what my one-to-one call is going to be offering and what I'm promoting in the lead magnet. Done. Let's pop that in there and let it get on with that. Now, that's going to take a bit of time to write. So in the meantime, we're going to come into Canva. We're going to go to Docs and we're going to create a new document. I really love Canva Docs because the formatting just looks beautiful, to be honest. Much better than creating docs on Microsoft Word or Apple Pages, and much easier to create something that looks very stylish because you've got in here things that you can include like tables, dividers, checklists, and all these things that just builds a little bit like a Notion page. And if you haven't used Notion before, it just builds nicely in a way that looks pretty and is very visually appealing. And that's what we want. So we're going to put title goes here and then subtitle goes here just to kind of get things set up. So this is going to be H2. which is a heading 2, and this is heading 1. And it's already set to Montserrat, which is great, which is what I want because that's my brand font. Pop that in the middle. Another thing that we're going to do in setting this up is go to File and then go to Page Setup, which is a new feature. It's really good because you can set it up in a way that you can see what it looks like once someone's printed it out, or once it's been converted to PDF and downloaded, which is going to enable us to see what comes before and after this natural page break. Because without the natural page break, and you can't see that, you have to download it and then see that it's breaking in really awkward places. So it's really nice to be able to see, okay, well, let me just show you. You see that's created a natural page break there, and it shows you what this A4 page looks like, a bit like a Word document. Previously, it didn't do that. You had to download it to find out what was on page 1, what was on page 2, etc. Another thing that we can do is we can click this plus button, and we can click on design. And what that's going to enable us to do is create a Canva design here inside the document. Well, you could create a banner image anyway that goes here. What I normally do with my downloadable PDFs is you could make a really gorgeous fancy cover. I literally just pop my logo at the top. I might grab my logo and stick that at the top there like that. And then I'll pop the title here, the subtitle there, and then I'll just get into body text here and we're on. But you could spend a little while getting kind of a front cover template. So if you have a look at docs with scrollables, I think that's coming up with scrollable. For instance, look for cover and you could create a nice front cover. So coming back into Claude, let's see what it's come up with. So it's created the outline. Title, stop scrambling every time a new client signs up. The onboarding system that keeps clients confident, saves you hours and actually gets them to stay. That's a brilliant title. It's very long, but we can turn it into title and we can, always spend a bit of time refining, but I think it's a great title. It's got everything you'd want in a title. It's just a little bit too long. Subtitle just basically gives an indication as to what that is. And then we've got an image idea. I'll show you what I would do with this image idea in a minute. You don't need to have images. This prompt is going to give you ideas and things to make this visual so that it isn't just like reading a book when it produces like loads of block text. So it's come up with an image idea for that front cover, which is great. I'm just going to copy that and then we'll use that in a sec. Introduction, who it's for, nice. Problem it solves, that works. And then we've got the core content structure. It's given us how many sections? 7 sections. And you just want to have a look through this and make sure that it's accurate to what it is that you believe, so that you're not producing something that goes against your belief system, basically. That's really important. And then conclusion, and then it's going to bridge into booking that call. Now, I'm interested to see what it's done here because the call is actually completely different to what this topic is. This topic is about how to onboard clients, and the call I've offered is offering a one-to-one show planning session. It's not done the best job at bridging that, but I think in hindsight, I should have created a call that marries up to what it is that I'm offering anyway, because that doesn't match. So it doesn't matter so much in terms of that. I genuinely wouldn't recommend offering a call for something completely different off the back of a PDF that's something completely different, unless there's a clear and obvious bridge between them. And the clear and obvious bridge that I could create, but it is reaching, is that if you want to create an amazing onboarding system, but your priority is actually that you need more clients to onboard, then let me help you set up an AI supported show system that's going to generate you shitloads of new prospects and leads that you can then practice your new onboarding system with. It's kind of reaching, but we can bridge it somehow. But yeah, so there we go. So that's the outline. So what I'm going to do, let me come back to my prompts here. I've got prompt number 2. We're now going to take this prompt, and this prompt, its job is to convert the outline into copy. So just to walk you through this prompt, and by the way, you can grab this prompt to copy and paste inside today's downloadable, which will be inside the school community. But just going to walk you through so you understand what it does. So you can create your own if you want to as well. So this instructing the AI Claude in this case, that it is now going to write the full copy for the lead magnet based on the structured outline provided below. Your job is to transform the outline into scannable, engaging human content that feels real, not polished marketing fluff. Lead magnet outline pasted below, and then writing instructions. This bit here is to kind of humanize, so it writes like a human. So that should help humanize the content a bit. We've got structure for scan readers, and then ideas for making it visually appealing, like telling us where to put highlighted boxes, etc. And then what not to do. Don't come up with anything that isn't basically in the outline. And the content approach, then bridge naturally to why the call makes sense is the next step. I wonder if it's gonna improve the bridge that we've currently got. Let's find out. So what we're gonna do, and I'm probably just gonna write attached next to that lead magnet outline, is because I'm going to paste the lead magnet here by hitting that copy button, and it's probably going to attach it to the top like so. So I'm now going to press enter, and that's going to create the lead magnet outline. And I will just hang around here and wait for it to produce the title. I think it's going to do it in a document and take a little bit of time. We just need to wait for that to, I want to create HTML. Oh, it's going to create a HTML file. All right. Okay. Well, it's going to put it in a little file for us. And let's have a look at what it's created. So this was our document, and this is great. Oh my God. It might even just be ready to go. I didn't realize that it could create such a beautiful, there we go. Happy days. We don't even need to go into Canva now. We can just download this. Look at that. Isn't that flipping brilliant? Just cut out a step, and there's the lead magnet. Now, if you want to edit it, which we need to, don't we? Because we need to put the visual in there. Oh my God, this is lovely. Okay, so let's have a look. So we've got stop scrambling every time a new client signs up. This sounds like me. I say killer. I say baked in. These are Cordelia-isms. This is the kind of words I use. So that's good. It's got that part of the brief, which is nice. Perfect. Okay, so that's done a really good job of relating who this is for. Coaches, consultants, mentors, tutors, trainers. Yeah, that's nice. How are we looking for M dashes? There are no M dashes. I would say this is written like quite human-like as well, but that's not onboarding. That's just admin. I mean, I would write like that. So that's done really well at doing that. So that's the intro, what you're going to walk away with. I wonder, by the way, what would happen if we put let's get it to remove this image, remove the visual box so we can just download without editing, and also use my brand aesthetic guide to make it look the part. And let's just grab that brand aesthetic guide. By the way, this is properly over the shoulder. You're literally watching me work right now. It's like kind of how it happens when you're just doing it, you know? But yeah, so it's got, I'd see, this is so cool, isn't it? The way it's given us an image of what those colors look like. So that's hopefully going to edit this. I wonder if there are any other images. Yeah, it's got some visual bits here. I don't know if there is a way that we can add in those visuals. There's even a button. Oh my God. This is so hot. You're going to want to have a look through this and just make sure that it is how you want it to be. I would go through and check this document was in alignment with what my messaging is, like what my thought process is, how I teach this, etc. And then I will come down to, I just want to have a look at this bridge and see what it's done. You've got a system, let's build something bigger. Again, like it hasn't managed to bridge that in to the content here, but I'm not really expecting it to because I was reaching there. I really was. Let's have a look at the conclusion. Is there one? There isn't much of a conclusion. It's just kind of given it all in I think it's nice though. I really like that it is easy to read and look at a glance and isn't loads and loads of block text. I love these boxes. It's basically exactly what I wanted, if I'm honest. Let me know, what do you think? I think it looks bloody beautiful. So if we come back into Claude, it's still working.
1 hour later.
Claude, have you finished? There we go. Claude's done. Oh, I'm excited. Oh! Oh my God. Oh, honey, I just want to just kiss you. That's beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that marvelous? Isn't that gorgeous? Happy days. Mic drop. I'm sure there's so much more that we could do. Like, I have no idea how you could get it to add in images. Maybe you can drop them here and ask it to input them like you would with something like base 44. but I don't think you need them. Like, images don't always add. Sometimes they take away. This kind of piece of content is for those that prefer to read. And so long as we're making it visual in terms of it's easy to read because we've got nice big chunks here that break up block text, then it's doing its job. I'm really happy with that. I think that's absolutely killer. That's bang on. So now you've got your lead magnet, you've got it created. All you need to do is share it and tell people that it exists. And believe it or not, that is easier to do than you think, because all you need to do is take to social media. I would do this in 2 steps. Step 1, I am currently making a step-by-step guide on how to achieve X with Y. Who wants it? Drop the word me in the comments. That's step 1. Now you let that post just sit and simmer. And then hopefully people are going to comment me, I want it, underneath. And you can go back to them later when you've created it. You can say, awesome, just sent you a DM. And the DM is, thank you for saying you want this downloadable lead magnet. If you drop me your email address and insert GDPR comment that is applicable here, but this is what I would do. If you could share your email address with me, I will get that pinged over for you. And then they're going to send me their email address. And then I will then just add that email address into my autoresponder and get it firing out to them and sending them an email that has a link that contains the downloadable of that PDF that we just created, essentially. Build a lead magnet in 10 minutes or less. And remember, the reason why this lead magnet is so fantastic is not because Claude made it. I mean, it is because Claude made it, but it's because Claude has received a high quality human input. That's all from me. I'm Cordelia Kate, and I'll be here live on the Marketing Strategy Show next week for another episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.